everyone, welcome back to the RSL, the Rival StarCraft League Season 4 Playoffs Day number 3. We're halfway through the broadcast. We just wrapped up with herO versus Zhao. It was a very short, very aggressive series, with herO taking down Zhao 3-1. And now we have one series left. It's going to be best of 5 between herO and Rogue, a PvZ. Again, a little bit surprising to see herO down here in the lower bracket. herO has been looking like a beast as of late. He's been looking unstoppable, but he is here fighting for his life alongside Rogue. Rogue has had a bit of a resurgence. I say a bit just because Rogue, he still has a very unique style. I would say right now he relies a lot on strategy. He relies a lot on strategy. He relies a lot on builds, a little bit less on micro, and then of course on kind of unit control. And Rogue has had some success as a result. He has been able. He recently took down Clem, I want to say, in the weeklies. And he has had a couple of moments of brilliance, of course. So it's been cool. It's been cool to see Rogue have a bit of a spike up here. But he is up against the best Protoss player in the world, straight up. Like here, he is the best Protoss in the world right now, and it's not easy for anyone to go up against him. So best of luck to Rogue. I hope we get a series out of it. Personally, I think it's gonna be a little bit more one-sided. Like, I lean heavily towards herO here, but I want to see a back and forth. I want to see a series. Let's go. Let's get into game number 1.
Is basically the best Protoss in the world, perhaps. You know, he's definitely up there, has an argument to be made right now, and Classic's out, so this is probably one of the hardest Protoss matchups you can get as a Zerg.
Yep.
But I think Rogue might be up for the challenge. I think we'll have some good games. His series versus Trigger was very competitive and close. We'll have to see how things unfold as we load into our first map, Missing You Today.
Yeah, this is good.
And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the red Zerg. For Team Falcons, it is Rogue. In the top left, we do have herO for T1. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat, as predictions are currently open for this best of 5. Remember, the predictions for the series, not just for the game. Best of luck.
He doesn't just follow what everyone else is doing.
True.
He'll come up with his own style, with his own timings, with his own unit comps, that kind of thing. We've seen him go for a lot of aggressive builds recently against Protoss. We saw a Roach Ravager all in against Trigger. We saw a Ling Bane attack in his former series. I forgot who he was against, but he's definitely not afraid to mix it up with going for these timings and then also just trying to play late game lurkers, that kind of thing.
Yeah, touching on what Surgeon mentioned, again, just echoing that, what we mentioned earlier, is that Rogue, he is heavily reliant on his builds, on his strategies, and he's very fond of all-ins, very fond of all-ins. The scary thing about herO is that, unlike Trigger, herO is a very aggressive player as well. herO is very active in the mid-game, and it can be quite difficult to out-aggress herO in ZVP. Can be difficult.
Slow tech into air later on and get carriers, they just sort of end up with this unstoppable death ball. And, you know, a lot of times when you see an issue like that arise in a matchup, the answer sometimes is, well, you don't let him get that far. You have to treat it, and there's a lot of matchups in StarCraft 2 and StarCraft 1 as well, where it's like one side is going to get too big to fail here if you don't do something about this, right? And so the idea is, yeah, how do you get in there? How do you end the game quicker? Is there some kind of a timing attack? Is there, you know, some moment when they've just ballooned out enough on the map that you can like send a Nidus in there and then drop somewhere else and then, you know, have 2 different attacks at the 2 bases on the front? Stuff like that might be what Rogue goes for.
Yeah, that's kind of what he did against MaxPax when he went for air in the late game. He went for that Ultra Corruptor army, and then he ran those Ultras all around the map, made it very difficult to catch them, and actually won the base race.
True.
In this game, we see herO is going for the Stargate. He's got his wall not at the natural. He's made his initial buildings at the top of the ramp there. This Zergling going to try and do a full scout, check there's nothing crazy going on, no pylons in the corner of the map or anything like that. As he goes ahead and gets his third base, and we see it's going to be a Void Ray first hit.
Yeah, Void Ray is very passive. You usually use this to clear out the Overlords, and then basically it kills off anything that could have attacked the expansion. I mean, it's not great versus Lings, but it's enough, especially if you have like 2 Adepts like we oftentimes see kind of parked in between the pylon and the Nexus at the 3rd base. So I don't think a whole lot's going to happen early on in this game. It looks like both sides are basically...
So pushing back against what Takes has just said, Void Ray openers are usually designed to hide tech, to hide builds, and to potentially go into some crazy stuff. We can go into early Adepts, we can go into early Fleet Beacon, early second Stargate, we can go for anything hidden behind this, and it'll be more difficult for Rogue to scout. So I would not call a Void Ray opener a passive opener. I would call it a very cheeky opener, just because you're denying any kind of scouting and any way to scout from your opponent. You're stripping that away. So it can be a very awkward start from the Zerg. Zerg player as a result and an awkward mid game. It could still lead into a standard game, by the way. It doesn't have to be a cheese, doesn't have to be some wild tech. It could be just a standard build, but rogue doesn't know that. And we can see early Twilight Council. That is earlier than normal. No forge, or late forge.
One of the challenges that you have from the Zerg's perspective here is you really, well, I guess it's different here with this Link in here, but
Link gets in, true.
Besides that,
Did he see the Twilight Council?
Going on,
Did he see?
right? I mean, I've seen games where they get one Stargate and then they even get a second Stargate and tech like
where's the council, by the way?
All the corners.
Where's the council at the wall?
Skip the rest of the alphabet and get to Z right away. Or you can go for like a gateway time.
And I believe the Overlord is still at the natural, by the way. It's still there.
Just tech up slowly. So
anyway, we're expecting Glaives. We're expecting Glaives. It could be Blink. We have 4 gates. Yep, there we go into really fast Blink.
The Overlord of the natural. So that one sees the Twilight.
Crazy.
I can't believe he didn't clear this on the way out of his base.
I'm glad you pointed that out, Sturgeon. I just assumed that all the Overlords are dead because he killed off one of them that was like further out.
Yeah.
That's insane.
So he sees the Twilight, he sees us upgrading, he sees the timing on the gateways.
So everything I said was wrong because, like, yeah, you look at this, you go, oh, it's Blink.
That should be the case,
yeah,
right?
Right, yeah. It's supposed to be that he doesn't know what's happening here. The Oracles are going to come in here. They zap down 3 drones and get out.
Nice little pick off there. Finally comes back, does take care of this.
Now, herO, upon finding this Overlord, now he knows he's been scouted. He's going for a late Forge, late +1. herO, he should not be going for an all-in here. He's going for aggression. He can apply pressure, but he shouldn't be able to break his opponents.
Followed up by the slightly later layer.
More gateways,
and
interesting.
herO has a Forge finishing up right now. I love these gateways at the top of the ramps here.
I think he's getting up to 7 gateways. Jesus.
That's going to be a full wall there.
It's a lot of gates.
It's going to be difficult to do any run-bys of Zerglings from that direction.
Yeah. So he's just staying out here. He's basically monitoring the Zerg.
So with the heavy gateway count, my assumption is that we're going to be skipping gases at the 3rd, and we're going for a big 3-base all-in. That is my assumption here, like an 8-gate 3-base all-in. We'll keep an eye on the gases. Gases indicate further tech. They would indicate Storm or Colossus. Like they would indicate like a further game with more splash damage and a 4th expansion. But without those gases, it's indicative of more gateway heavy all-in.
Right now, he hasn't taken his gases yet at the 3rd base, which indicates he's not teching up just
he's pointing it out.
Going to go into the charge,
no
Storm on the ring, anything like that. Okay, now we do see the 5th and 6th gas, so he'll have enough to tech further along. And he's going to pressure with these Oracles and the Stalkers.
Sturgeon, he was listening to the stream. But now that we have the gases, that is indicative of Storm. That's indicative of the next step. And that means that herO is building up into a longer game.
At 3 o'clock. But it's actually kind of hard to get over there and hit that. The way this
now that we start talking about a longer game state here, this is where Missing You Today comes into play. This is a very large map. It's a very large map. It is easy to defend on your initial 5 bases. It's very turtle heavy, and there are goal bases as well. So whoever has map control can claim those goal bases.
Oracles melt everything.
As there are 2 golds.
Infestation pit coming here.
Yeah, and just 18 drones on the production tab for Rogue. He's feeling safe right now. He says, okay, the Stalker pressure is not coming or is over. I'm going to drone up a lot. Here the Protoss army is moving out once again, and that 3 o'clock base is actually Rogue's 5th.
Can I take a 5th?
So if it falls, it's not the end of the world. You just want 4 bases at the moment at least to support this economy that you have, and only now is the Protoss taking their base, and here comes the Lings.
Oh my god.
Swords, but there's still so many Lings remaining.
Takes an expansion, recalls back home, doesn't lose a single Stalker.
He does get the hatch.
Doesn't even lose a unit.
Yeah.
That was perfect. This is so bad for him.
0 units lost.
And this is as the 4th base is going to be finishing up here for herO. So herO's going to come out again. And this time he's got
hyper efficiency.
And I mean, I don't see any reason to not just move out and try to.
And remember, behind this, now he's got the Temple Archives. Now he can morph in Archons.
You can over time.
Here they come, 2 Archons.
Hydralisks out for Rogue or anything at the moment.
And now it's going to be in here to rotate to the south side and just keep rotating, threading these bases. We can see that Rogue is trying to take up in a hive, trying to.
Only melee units against the Protoss army can be difficult for a while, and you got to get some big Baneling connections if you want to be able to fend off these massive pushes here. Especially with Archons in the mix. They're so good against all these Lings and Banes.
Okay, he's going to come push here again, and he's going to be able to deny this. In fact, this may just be
as I mentioned, Rogue is just screwing pure Link Bane into Ultra. It's very difficult to pull this off. Very difficult.
He does blink away. The Banes are in every single angle, but honestly, right now, I mean, a lot of the Archons are kind of tanking this.
Yeah, the Archons shut this down.
The last thing you want to have your Banelings spent on is Archons.
Look at the Archons tank.
And, I mean,
one Archon gets surrounded.
He's okay.
No.
Yeah, it looks like he is surviving.
And his hatch is going to finish.
Rogue is not okay.
That's crazy.
Hatchery goes down.
I don't know why I sounded like that when I said that. I know I turned into like an old witch. I was like, I like to be destroyed. Sorry, man. So
Sky toss on the horizon.
I mean, herO's basically got this wrecking ball army that's going around the map. He's taking out base after base. It's going to be Zerg on 4 bases again, although I guess as I say that, the bottom center base over here, a little bit to the left, that one, just finishes up.
I mean, hero's headed for it. He's
I think
rotating.
the big issue in that fight was he didn't have Balin speed. We just see it finishing up now, so the Balins waddled in, but weren't able to get their connections. It was some of that fight was on creep. If you have the Balin speed, you maybe get some good hits in there, but not going to be the case. herO now pushing the issue, picking off even more units as he's becoming
that is a
closer and
brutal
closer to
choke point.
maxed out. Adreno on the way for Rogue, so his upgrades are good at least.
And again,
That's
Rogue is
what
working
we
towards
can
ultras.
say.
I believe Rogue should lose this expansion though again.
He's going to come down here again.
We'll see.
Doing a
This time he
little
has
bit of
Baneling
damage
speed.
and blinking away. You know, the Banes can't quite get their targets over here. I don't know how much longer Rogue can be in this game if this attack kills his hatchery.
Yeah,
because
he
there's nothing
abandons it.
else that Protoss has to do but just kind of go between these.
Building Rabbi though.
every
He gets in.
new
The walls to the wall.
base,
There's multiple
just
holes.
take it out and then go back out again.
Oh, hold that thought, Tasers. Lings actually get in.
Forcing a
portion
recall.
of the army recalled. Will
The
be enough
burrow
to get his
as well.
Available. He's going to target
Denying
down his
+3.
force to deny the upgrade. There are stalkers here to try and fight back. Will he be able to get it? Looks like he will. So that upgrade, level 3 ground weapons denied. These units unburrow here. The natural is
Oh my god, so many probes.
And that's actually bought him a lot of time to get his ultras online. We see 3 almost done.
Yeah, nice round
Timer's
buys.
plating as well.
Rogue
And this robot's
pulling
gonna
herO
get absolutely
apart.
shredded by these cracklings.
herO commits, but the
And
ultras
here
are
comes the
coming.
Protoss army on creep.
Rogue can do this.
Yeah, I mean, what's crazy is herO never turned around. He's just kind of been
He can
committed
do
here
it.
the whole time. I mean, there's a lot of damage
Oof.
being dealt over here, and I don't know that Protoss. Oh God, that's a
Oh
lot
god.
of Banes connected there.
Oh, he
herO
blinks. He
just
blinks into Lings.
Screw this game up. I
Rogue.
think he might have.
Yeah, Rogue, now that he has his power spike with these ultras, is taking some kind of face-on fights here. Going to start to shred some of these Protoss units. The Archons, there's still a lot of them remaining. There's still
Nice
a void
juggling.
ray, but here comes some more Lings to help clean this
miscontrol.
up finally. And a Spore Crawler, nice touch
Yeah.
there.
And here is
These
dead.
Lings on burrows
Here is
once
dead.
again.
The Ling run, but purely from Ling run buys. Like Rogue is winning this game. herO, he was out playing, he was out producing, he was doing more damage, but herO has lost he's just lost 2 mineral
A lot
lines.
of times you don't even know that they've, you know, if you've wiped
The
them out or
non-stop
not,
Ling
right?
round
It happens
buys.
so fast. This base up here at 12 is going to be
herO has
killed off.
nothing.
And somehow Rogue is in control of this game. I thought it was looking really bad for him in the mid game. I thought he
was.
wouldn't survive until the ultras. Look at those burrowed
He's
ultras.
he's just underground like, ah!
It hurts. the overmind is cruel, but these Lings are just running wild, shredding everything. They're still there, burrowed. That looks so funny. Or just the one now, but everything dying to these Lings. herO down to 26 workers.
Yeah, herO's going to lose this hatchery too. You know, I got to say, when Rogue plays, it's like it's its own race. You know, he did a really good job with this. I think the herO might just be losing the game now. I don't know that he can recover from this. He has 23 workers, and you have to imagine Rogue has made enough of whatever he needs in order to fight.
Rogue has no economy, so he's rebuilding 5 ultras. He has plenty of ultras. Rogue has plenty back at home. The counterattack from herO just is not strong enough.
I know.
Doesn't have enough
What's
back.
funny is the idea that that thing would burrow and then you would be
The
like,
numbers
where
aren't
did it
there.
go? You know, size of a building. It's just like, oh my god, it's gone. They disappeared. Like,
There's so many ultras here at the 4th base for Rogue. Will be able to clear up all these Protoss units. herO just hanging on, but he does not have much left. Will be forced out of this game momentarily. Just has a war prison and a
Smiling.
dream, basically.
yeah. No, I
Yeah,
think
there
he's
it
cooked,
is.
man.
GG.
Looks like Rogue takes game number 1.
The
keeping
cam reactions.
The Zerg hope alive.
Keeping the dream alive
Right.
for the Cabal.
That's right.
But yeah, what a game. That was
The Cabal.
that was insane.
GG, well played. Again, herO's playing the early to mid game very, very nicely. He was knocking down bases, knocking down expansions. He was crippling Rogue economically as well, as Rogue was almost dead pre-Ultra. But what did it come down to? It came down to the Ling Rabbi. The Ling Rabbi's Ling counterattacks. He got a massive Ling Rabbi into the main base, into the natural, and he forced a recall out of herO. And we also saw a big Ling counterattack right after that towards the 3rd base. herO, he lost 2 mineral lines worth of probes, and he lost the expansion as well, so he could not sustain himself economically, he could not build up his army, and it was just pulled apart. This is where the size of the map came into play. Missing You Today is a very large map in the map pool, and herO did not take it seriously enough. The counter-attacks and run-bys didn't take it seriously enough. He wanted to be aggressive, he wanted to be active. That is herO's playstyle, of course. He wants to force defense out of his opponents, he wants to force them back home, but he wasn't quite able to. It was a big risk from Rogue to go for the counter-attack, but we had a massive wall at the natural, because it wasn't just one, there were two holes. There were two holes in that wall. It was not a wall at all. The wall was not a wall, Pappy. GG.
Rogue droned up really hard after the initial Stalker pressure. He went up to straight to about 88 drones, I think it was, which is a big economy. Like, and you make your 4th and your 5th base as the Zerg, and if the Protoss kills one, you're still a 4-base Zerg.
Right.
So you still have good economy, enough mineral lines to support 88 drones, and the Protoss doesn't have their 4th base up yet. So just getting the 5th doesn't feel like quite enough damage in that situation, but yeah, very, very cool game number 1. We do move on to Celestial Enclave here for game 2.
I'd push back against that in the sense that, like, herO did a great job doing damage. It was more so just about the counterattacks and run-bys, right? So the counterattacks and run-bys, the critical damage that was dealt. Sure, like, Rogue was losing bases, but he was killing mineral lines. He was killing so many
He was
probes.
supposed to win that game. It's pretty wild to see a game where, like, someone's consistently winning for, like, 75% of it, and then in under a minute, the other players completely turn the game upside down.
Yeah, like you said, it was the counterattacks, I think. We had the classic herO wall at the top of the main instead of the natural. Not doing that this game. Does have his pylon, sorry,
Have
on the
some
low
confidence,
ground.
Pappy. Have some
Gonna
confidence.
send this probe in to get a scout, check what Rogue is up to. Some
So, are
Zergs
these
go,
new maps?
you know, 3
No.
hatchery before gas, something crazy like that.
It depends what your definition is. The last game that we casted was on Missing You Today. That was in the previous TLMC, so that was last year. So if you weren't watching the TLMC tournaments, that was being held there, of course, and that was voted in. Same with what's the other map as well? There's a couple of them. There's a couple of like older maps that are in this tournament, and they also have Necropolis, which is a newer map for sure.
But you know, he has to make the adjustments of not letting the counterattacks completely rug pull him out of the game entirely.
Yeah, I think with the Burrow,
See,
like you
Kansas,
said,
here is a
it was
massive
so
favorite against
difficult to
Rogue.
deal with, and
He's, I don't know if I'd say
Adrenal
massive, but
Wings
he is a
just
favorite
kill
player against Rogue.
everything so quickly. But
But Rogue
right
is
now,
fighting
we
back.
do see herO's taking his natural. Neither player opting for the.
If you're curious why there are some different maps in this tournament map pool, is specifically for RSL, they have voting for their patrons. So on Patreon, if you are a certain tier of patron, you can vote on maps, and they remove 3 maps from the standard map pool, and they add 3 voted in maps. So basically, they were chosen by the patrons. I think they replaced. I think they replaced like Tourmaline and like Winter Madness. There are 3 maps that they got rid of for this tournament, but it's just for this specific tournament specifically. They got rid of 3 and they added 3.
But yeah, but it's going to be a little bit of a slow start here, you know.
Yeah, we see this pro running around trying to avoid these lings. And this game here is actually moving out with the Adepts. I like this. He was quite passive last game, I thought. Only sent the Void Ray across, not the Adepts. He even gets a block at the 3rd base of Rogue. This is nice. He's going to delay the 3rd base. Oh, no, he's actually going to take it at the pocket base. Okay.
Yeah, forces the pocket.
That's interesting because that's not a full... There's only 1 gas there. It's not going to give him the full eco that you would get from a base outside your main.
Okay, so he's just continuing to scout with that Adept, make sure everything is par for the course so far here. We do have that Oracle coming out, so it's going to be a little bit of a deviation from the style that we saw earlier. But again, you could still end up with, you know, the same Stalker Oracle pushes here, just no Void Ray coming out right away.
Yeah, Stalker as well is going to be coming out, and with the Oracle, we'll be able to shoo away this Overlord at the natural. The Adepts don't commit to the Shade, so he doesn't know about this pocket base just yet. I imagine an Oracle will go over there at some point just to get the confirmation that he has made that hatchery and it's not an insane 2-base play. Although saying that, we have quite a fast layer on the way for Rogue, getting it at 345, so definitely the potential for some tricky stuff here.
He's going to go for that Fleet Beacon. Oh, it's so dirty. Wow. Okay, so we were talking about this in the last cast.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes you'll just see them get a second Stargate, and here it is.
Yeah, indeed. And Rogue sees there's no 3rd base yet. I'm not sure if he can if he has a way to scout the pocket base.
Yeah, we're going for the second star again, the Fleet Beacon. If you remember, we spoke about this last game about the potential after a Void Ray opener that you can do this. And on Celestial, the reason why this build is more viable is because of how defensive you are, or how defensive the bases are here on Celestial Enclave.
Right.
He kind of has the tools.
Specifically, two features here are the High Ground Natural and the Pocket Third.
Wow.
Well, with the upgrade as well.
Yeah.
It does damage, extra damage to buildings. I forgot the name of it.
I was going to say, don't ask me.
Tectonic Destabilizers.
So bad. A long time ago in Artosis, we started to cast, we were like, don't ever ask me the name of an upgrade. We always have these weird...
I think the only upgrades that we don't know the names of are, I always say this, the medevac upgrade. I always look it up and I always forget, but the medevac speed upgrade, the healing upgrade, I think that's it. I think that's the only one we don't know.
What is the idea with this? Do you want to try to come from a side and like blow up that back base maybe? Like the little free one that Zerg gets over there, and then you can just recall it back home?
That is an option. You can also just sit in some airspace, picking off drones. And
ultra speed. I think ultra speed is like anabolic synthesis or something. Like, it's not like that.
Or you can double down. We do see he's got.
Oh, he sees.
These
Does he notice?
Under attack right now.
Does he notice the rocks being knocked down? Tempest is scouted.
Out of the first Tempest.
Rogue is rushing into Hydras.
Yeah, he's going to come over here with those.
Now, because Hero isn't reacting, and if he didn't notice those rocks being knocked down, Rogue can all in. Rogue can all in directly into the natural with his Hydras.
That's the question, if they can get underneath them,
exactly.
Right? I mean, Tempest, there's a big vacant area here, right where the well, we're not looking.
Like again, it's not about getting into the Tempest; it's about counterattacking and forcing a defense back at home. Like Hero might just die here and now.
About going for the extractor. Did he A move that?
Rocks open.
Maybe.
They're opening up.
I'm not sure exactly.
Hero didn't notice. He's not defending.
Yes.
The spores will go so down quick, down so quick.
Lings they flood in. It's a little bit soon.
Ling somehow got in the main. I have no idea how that happened, but
what?
Units come back.
I mean, the rocks got knocked down.
Oh my God, Hero, you're gonna lose your Tempest. Be careful. Taking damage from spores over here.
Yeah, Hydras have arrived. I do think that Rogue was a little bit too premature with the Lings. He was a little bit premature.
I don't care.
Like, Lings would do amazing here to defend the Hydras, to protect them.
That he's got. Okay, the
Stasis.
Hydras are going to trigger that, so that's going to get at least 2 frozen there.
But again, you can see just how vulnerable these Hydras are. Imagine this with like 16 Lings alongside them.
That are slow,
and now we have Lings trickling in, but
you can really appreciate how much damage
can he do
they
it?
Do when you watch the
can he
fight
kill?
actually go down. So he's going to recall that. But when he recalls that, the Hydras could just run underneath it and hit it, but they don't.
Yeah, the Tempests are hiding at the back of this.
I mean, there weren't
here.
enough. I mean,
a lot of units starting to fall for the Zerg. He's only on 55 drones right now.
It's close. Can he get under the Tempest? It's still close. They're so low.
From the spore crawlers. Actually forced to pull the probes as well. This is going to be a little bit dicey on both
Yeah, the boys are being pulled. The probes are going to be going down. Hydras, they do try to get under the Tempest. Again, the Tempest are so low on HP. He gets one. Oh, he gets one. There's 3 left. There's 3 remaining. 2 remaining.
So a lot of
2 Tempests.
Picked off here. And there's more coming.
Again, Rogue, he's so close.
Yeah, indeed. More Zerg streaming across the map.
He kills all the pros. 15 pros go down. More Hydra's going to be rallying in. Critical damage. 2 Tempests left.
It looks like Hero might be doing it here. His Tempests are kind of the only thing keeping him in this game right now. I feel
Speaking
like.
of, one of the Tempests is exposed. No micro. Yeah, no micro. 1 Tempest goes down. There's 1 Tempest left.
Oh my God. Okay, so there's more.
He's done it. Yeah, Rogue has done it. He's going to take a massive lead in this series.
30 probes have been killed off so far.
He's going to be on match point.
And more and more Zerg
match point.
Streaming into the main base of Hero. He's out running out of
He's broken him. Depowers the Twilight Council.
One more Tempest comes back in.
Yeah, Blink is going to be denied. The final Tempest goes down as well. 0 Tempest left. There's nothing remaining here. We got Vanilla Stalkers. Only Vanilla Stalkers.
Nothing working, dude. Zerg's too strong. Blizzard, if you're listening, Zerg is too good. And I think we need to make both the Zergling and the Hydralisk a little bit weaker. It's the only solution.
This game is proof.
Yeah. Listen, guys, when Rogue wins his whole tournament, I don't want any complaining. Incredible. GG. Rogue wins. Or not wins. Well, he wins that game. But not the series.
Not
yet. Not easy to beat a caster. It's not easy getting 5 point out here.
GG, well played. Rogue's build is a hard counter, at least to whatever I tried the Tempest meme. Not exactly. So winding it back, if you weren't watching the game, if you recall, a big reason why this all-in worked for Rogue, and also GG well played, is up 2-0. A big reason why it worked, if you recall, is because Rogue was knocking down those rocks. There were rocks outside of the natural on Celestial Enclave, and it took a while. It took like 3 minutes, like 2 minutes. Like, he was nibbling away at those rocks the entire early game, and herO, he saw it. Like, he did have units within range. His unit saw it, but herO didn't. Like, the player himself, herO, didn't notice that the rocks were being knocked down, and he saw it twice even. He saw it once with the Tempest, and I think he saw it with with a probe that had moved like in range as well. So he had potential. He had the potential to realize what was going on and to react and to defend those rocks. But again, he didn't, right? He didn't notice that the rocks got knocked down, so there was a massive opening, and we saw the all-in just rush on through. I do think that Rogue was a little bit too preemptive and too premature with his lings. I think he would have been more successful, and it would have been a stronger push if he had held on a little bit, knocked down the rocks, and waited until the Hydras arrived. So he got a little bit too excited, and he came in too soon. But regardless, the all-in still barely did work out and did break the natural. If herO had been able to scout and realize what was going on and react to it, then we could have seen stronger defense if those rocks didn't get knocked down. But GG, well played. With that, Rogue is up 2-0.
Go there, like the video.
He's up 2-0.
That also, excuse me, that also helps us out as well.
Yeah, and you can get all your
Adaptive attack speed is called adaptive talents, right? Cap. Adaptive talent. It should be. Adaptive talents.
That's right. Guys, we're going to take a short
but we're going to be going in a break. We're going to be going in a break. Rogue is up 2-0 in the series, and he might claim the 3-0. He might claim it here and now. We'll see you soon after the break. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to the second half of this series. Welcome back to the RSL Revival Season 4 Playoffs Day 3 co-stream. We are mid-series with Rogue versus herO, and currently Rogue is up 2-0. Rogue is up 2-0, and he is one game away from claiming the series, and it would be a massive upset here. herO is the best Protoss in the world, but he is struggling in the RSL. He got knocked down earlier by MaxPax. Now he's up against the wall against Rogue, and the broadcast might just end. It might just end here and now. Meanwhile, a big shout out to Luis GGG. God, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Hope you had a great time. And welcome here to our PvZ here. Welcome to 10,000 feet, actually. 10,000 feet is going to be the next map in the map pool. Again, the pressure is very much so on herO. Winding it back, game 1, herO had a really strong early and mid game. Here he was knocking down bases, knocking down expansions, he had map control, and then one ling run by killed herO. The lings, they got into the main, they got into the natural, they burrowed, they killed all these pros. We had the ling reinforcements hit the third base, and herO fell apart to the ling aggression while he was trying to be aggressive across the map, and he was punished for it. So we had that back and forth. Here in game 2, herO, he went for a Tempest rush, but he got all in as rocks were being knocked down at the natural, and herO's unit saw the rocks being knocked down, but he himself did not see it, did not notice, did not react, and as a result, the all-in was successful. And now we're getting to game 3, potentially the final game of the series. Let's go.
You talking smack on meters
No,
again?
he was just wondering how many meters or something that was, and we said we needed you on the desk to do that, so...
Oh.
I think we already did that last time.
Did you figure it out?
No, I didn't.
I think it's
no
like...
reason to do that.
Is it like... Oh, okay, shall I not?
Well, you can do it.
I think it's like 3.3 or just under 3.3 feet to a meter. So if you have 100,000 feet...
10,000 feet.
Is it 10,000? Oh,
10,
yeah.
10,000
If you have 10,000 feet,
Okay, they're doing
it would be, what, 3,000?
Doing math on air, man. Jesus, that is...
3,000 meters!
Did we do it?
Someone
Right,
in chat confirmed.
The other European guy just
well,
said
okay,
no.
1 meter... Okay, whatever. 3,300, right? Because it's 3.3-ish.
And we're doing this on a 3-minute delay with chat as well, so...
That's fine.
We're not going to know this
Chat's
for another...
got my back. Someone confirmed. 3,300 meters. 3,048?
Nice, thank you,
All right.
Ziggy, with the quick maths.
The thousands was close enough.
Nice, all right. So, what was it, 3,000?
The cast is a memeing. Meanwhile, big shout out to Kaczynski, baby. Thank you so much for the 25 gifted subs to the... Oh my god, so many gifted subs, baby. You're crazy. But thank you so much for all the gifted subs to the community. We appreciate the support. That's a lot of support, baby. Thank you so much. We do appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the content, the casting, and the StarCraft. Hope you enjoy. Crazy support. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see any more Tempests here. hero's going to bring out his best tried and tested builds.
As we are settling into game 3.
But it's also herO, so you never know.
So far, it looks like a standard opener out of Rogue. Meanwhile, we have herO likewise going for his own Gates Cyber Expand. Nothing crazy, nothing wild yet. We'll see how herO approaches the mid game. Because of how this series has been playing out, I think as they were kind of mentioning, we do assume that herO is going to play standard, but we're on 10,000 feet. All-ins are favored on this map, and because of how aggressive you can be on 10,000 feet, it would make sense for herO to be overly safe. We could be seeing an earlier Twilight Council into earlier Blink, into a delayed Forge. We could see a very similar build to game 1.
So random, and he would actually kill SCVs with it sometimes, building the CC and whatnot. So he loves absolutely going for that type of early stuff, and we'll keep that probe in that base for as long as humanly possible before he sends it on back home. So we'll keep it alive as nicely as that is, and we'll send those couple of adepts across the map as well to take its place, basically. Oh, never mind. The probe's gonna go back. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I guess he wants to confirm the third base location. He sees it's not at the front. That's already some information. We've seen some games where Rogue will take like a front base and then just all in.
Yeah, it's a very common strategy. What they're discussing is that if the Zerg player takes a forward expansion, that could be for a Roach all-in, a German taxi. Meanwhile, Stargate into Void Ray out of herO. As we mentioned, if you recall, there's a high chance we go for the same build that we went for in game 1. In game 1, it was a Void Ray opener into early Blink, if you recall, into late Forge.
Yeah, it's going to be used for scouting. Would be very surprised if he actually completes this. Just wants to see a look on the drone count, take a look on the link count and everything. Sees plenty of drones and a couple of them spawning from the natural as well. So rules out any sort of super fast Ling all-in or something like that, which we really never see anymore anyways. Protoss players are so good at scouting and defending that nowadays, especially with energy recharge. One Oracle can honestly defend that kind of stuff very, very easily. So won't be seeing any of that, but just always good to double check. Now gets that double adept into the main base as well. Might complete that, but just decides to cancel it for now, as he's going to bring this Void Ray along to kill off some Overlords and try to maybe use the adepts to kind of either keep the queens away or actually make the Overlord, have the Void Ray bait them away, but looks like he's just going to continue to keep everything.
Can he get 2?
alive.
No, not quite.
Yeah, that did supply block Rogue.
Now the third base has been thrown down. We're expecting early Twilight Council. There it is, early Council out of herO. Again, this is the same build so far from game 1. Same build. That should be Blink. Should be, but we'll keep an eye on him. Technically, this could lead into early Glaives. Technically.
I know.
If
I do that so often.
to get the scout here. StarCraft units are hard, but he will get the scout here with this Overlord. It's going to go down. Will it see the Twilight before it does? It's close.
He won't.
Oh, he's got a second one.
He's got a
Second
second one.
Overlord.
He's got the tasteless Overlord there to go along with it. So we'll be able to get the confirmation.
Nice scout. There's the Twilight Council. We have the delayed Forge, so early Blink. Again, this is the same build.
To then have the second one on the right
So, I guess to explain the build itself and why we assumed it would be the same build as game 1 is because of the early Blink. This means that if Rogue was going for an all-in, then Blink would be done in time to defend. It also allows herO to be aggressive early on. The downside of this build is that the Forge is later, +1 is delayed, so we have later upgrades, later +1, later +2, later tech, just because you're going to be warping in and committing a little bit harder into Blink Stalkers. But this does allow herO to be active on the map, to defend against an all-in or to be active as well, to apply pressure and to knock down the 5th expansion. Or to apply pressure to the 4th as well.
This could be for melee and lots of Zerglings, is what I would imagine. Yeah, we do see the +1 melee go down.
Rogue going into +1 melee here usually means Ling Hydra, but in game 1 we saw Rogue go Ling Bane into Ultra Tech, so we might see a repeat. No, never mind, safety Roach Warren.
Very often, yet again, another little unique twist to the matchup from Rogue. You don't see these macro hatches being thrown down all the time, so he's going to be able to pump out plenty of units with this extra hatchery.
Says we don't see them all the time. I believe we did have a macro hatchery in the game 1 when you did go Ling Bane into Ultra. So this might be an indication of a heavy Ling army, which is why there's a macro hatchery.
Of this game where herO will be on the aggression with this Blink Stalker play. How much damage can he actually get done with this poke?
Yeah, and Rogue's all the way up to 73 drones. He's made quite a lot. Here come the Lings, the initial ones. There's no stasis trap here at the moment, so they will actually get a wraparound on these Stalkers. Some of them blink out. Here comes the next round.
He might get 2. Oh my god!
A couple Stalkers will
wow, 3!
Yeah, it's actually really nice for Rogue. A great first engagement. Almost kills off that Oracle as well. With
3 Stalkers go down.
The creep gets some more of those,
and we can see we have now confirmation. It's not Ling Bane into Ultra, it's Ling Bane or Ling into Hydra.
But that's a good momentum stopper there for Rogue. Doesn't allow herO to snowball super heavily with the Stalkers just yet. Will try to now go for the big surround yet again as some of those Stalkers are off cooldown. Will be able to get them and trap them.
Yeah, he gets
into
another
the
3.
Corner. Can they actually blink across?
4, 5, oh my god,
It
6,
like
7?
The answer might be no, as a lot of these Stalkers
this
are
is too
starting to
much.
get killed
7
off.
Stalkers go down.
Might just have enough firepower anyway.
8,
As more Stalkers
7.
come over to help out their friends there. These Lings are going to run by, see what's being made here. Get a little
Yeah, we're just
scout,
screaming
and then
numbers.
we'll have we have a Mainland nest behind this as well as a 5th base.
But those were heavy losses for herO, and so far this aggression has not been worth it. herO falls behind.
Hydroling Bane for the moment. No further upgrades on.
Just heavy losses for herO. Hydras are amassing back at home for Rogue.
Coming out here shortly. Probably the melee. Yeah, there it is. There's the +2 melee. You're going to go predominantly Ling Bane here and maybe try and crash through the Protoss at some point.
Yeah, I love that these Lings are continuing to shark around. We know that herO is someone that will always leave that door open, so if they could ever find a way into the natural, into the main base to get an extra deep scout, maybe kill a couple of workers, that would be great for Rogue. So always keeping those alive, trying to get as much information as possible. Finds the fourth base on the right-hand side, which is a bit of a unique spot as well, mining out those minerals on that ramp. So we'll use this as kind of an anchoring point to kind of continue to pressure the right side of the map is what herO is going for, as some Lings do get scouted on the left-hand side, but still a large amount of them
once again he gets caught.
These Stalkers and joining up.
He just keeps getting caught out. Oh my god.
We'll be able to juke them for just a
herO,
moment, but
he's stuck. He's gonna lose everything.
Around on so many of those Stalkers.
It's going to be a 3-0. Like, I'll be honest. Like, we're losing far too much. That's 24 Stalkers going down this game.
Mass Ling here and a handful of Hydras at the back.
herO getting punished for being aggressive. He's being punished for being herO. He just keeps getting... The pants, they just keep falling down.
Into the surround, basically. Very good control.
He can't get them up back. And now herO's being desperate. You know, when behind Fleet Beacon, when behind Sky Toss. He's going to try to rush into Sky Toss. herO is miles behind, and Rogue is here to end the game. He's here to end the game, just rally across the map to commit into the 3rd, into the 4th. Rogue is maxed.
Fast Fleet Beacon coming in from herO as well. Likely going to be going into a very fast Mothership. Losing that Oracle is actually very annoying as well. Not having the Revelations constantly on the army is going to make it very difficult to know exactly.
But again, as you mentioned, one of the reasons why you can get away with this style is the macro hatchery. We spoke about what the macro hatchery means and what it emphasizes. It means that, you know, more lava, mass Ling Bane. And the Stalker aggression from herO has just been punished time and time again. Every time he moves out, he just loses Stalkers.
herO's got to be very careful about moving out on the map right now. Rogue just maxed out,
and Rogue is gearing up
to send this attack, so he needs to be defending here. We have a Tempest on the way.
He's getting Ling Bane Hydra all in, and he's making Tempests, which is, I feel like, not exactly the greatest idea. I mean, sure, they're going to be good against Hydras eventually, once you can get a lot of them, and their range is really good, and they will just kind of one-shot them, but I don't know, man. I feel like you need to get just more ground. Like, we need Storm, we need Templar.
Storm, Colossus, splash damage. herO's thinking a little bit. I mean, I say that herO is behind. Like, what Gemini is talking about is, like, how do you play against the style, not how do you recover against this style. Like, trying to macro and play standard and go into splash damage and try to play out a standard game, it's not going to work. Like, it's like you got to take a risk. You got to take a chance, or at least that's the mentality that herO has.
To delay the attack, but finally it will come. It's hit on 2 sides right now.
Oh no, the Banelings get into the mineral line.
Nothing hit to defend them except
herO pulls away.
Cannon. They will have to evacuate. On the other side, we see Ling
Rogue collapses on the 4th. Lings, they bust into the mineral line. The Banelings! Oh my god.
To die. 24 workers, 27 already. Rogue getting some damage done here.
Yeah, that's some great economic damage, but did he really kill much of the army is the question. Of course, if herO can continue to sustain a lot of this army supply, he will be able to eventually do a massive counter blow as another wave of Banelings try to find their way into the probe lines, into these Zealots. We'll be able to take some pretty good connections as the rest of the Archons are also falling on the ground. herO is dipping.
Can Rogue take down the expansion?
Supply. The Mothership is here to try and save whatever it can, but this is getting really tough to defend by herO.
He gets it.
The 4th base goes down for herO. Rogue in a very commanding lead right now. Almost 40 more workers, more army supply, more bases. Even as the macro hatch still upgrading. And herO's making immortals right now. I mean, Rogue's done it basically. He just has to not overextend, do anything crazy.
Like Gemini's reaction. that was very apt.
And he should be able to do, you know, a lot of damage once more. I kind of feel like if the Archon count gets really high, they can trade well against the Ling Bane, but Rogue's just so ahead right now.
Yeah, I really question the decision to just go for such fast Tempest in this position. I feel like herO maybe didn't quite identify exactly what Rogue was going for. Maybe
I would disagree with what Gemini's saying. Like, herO knew what Rogue was going for. Like, once again, as we were mentioning, like, technically, if you have a comparable economy, then going into splash damage makes sense. But as you were mentioning, like, herO was behind. Like, he was dead. Like, he had to do something, and his hope was he could get away with the Sky Toss rush, because you have to go for a Hail Mary play. And herO's Hail Mary play was Sky Toss. Like, what Gemini's criticizing is, like, how to, like, correctly play against his style. And play like standard and macro against it, which is correct. Like, the correct thing to do is get splash damage. But the understanding that I have here for herO is that he felt too far behind to try to play that way, and he wanted to try to get away with something cheeky like rushing into Tempest.
He went Hydroling Bane into Hive, and I'm kind of curious if herO watched that and thought, okay, maybe that's what he's doing this game, because normally you do what Rogue did this game with Hydroling Bane. You send it.
And obviously it didn't work. Like, we have the knowledge of seeing everything, and we know how far ahead Rogue was, and he was going to be assaulting that 5th base. But it isn't the Tempest rush that killed herO this game. Like, it's let's make sure we hammer that home. That's not what killed herO. herO was already dead. Like, that was herO's attempt to recover, an attempt to bounce back.
We'll be able to deny this as a couple more also went into the main base yet again. So even though herO is just sitting here on these 3 bases, somehow Ling's still trying to find their way and will actually get into the main bases. And now Rogue is in a position where he can just kind of hunker down for a little bit as well, just kind of recoup, make sure he's got his next tech transition coming up. He's got his 2-2 on the way as well. He's got his Spire finish. He's got upgrades coming out for his Corruptor. He's got the Infestation pick coming for the Hive. So he's going to be able to transition much later if the game does drag on, but he still is going to be looking for an opportunity to end it if he can. To be fair, though, for herO, this army is actually looking pretty decent at this point. He's got a lot of
Rogue is stuck on Lingbane Hydra, so herO's army is much more efficient, for sure. Rogue should be working towards Lurkers to help, like, round his army out. Rogue is coming in.
Try to distract as the other army goes from the right, but will back off as this army from herO, like I was saying, is actually kind of threatening.
Yeah, it is.
I'm a little bit worried for Rogue letting herO get so high in supply.
So what the issue here for Rogue is that Rogue is stuck now. He's stuck with a very mid-game and mid-tier army. Rogue has to trade. Like, that is the purpose of this army. He has to trade soon. If he waits for herO to come to him, then herO won't give him time to remax. Whereas if Rogue engages first, then Rogue has time to rebuild. So Rogue, he has to be the aggressor here. He's coming in.
Huge surround getting thrown
nice
down
setup,
by
nice
Rogue.
flank.
The cloak on the mothership will try to help, but there's so
He's
many
getting
ogres here,
Archons.
so it doesn't really matter. Zealots trying to run away from the Baneling, so the Hydras will be
Zealots get
left
zoned
alone
away.
with the Immortals and Archons. We'll be able to take some decent trades.
And herO will survive this. As you can see, he's forcing this back, but this is better for Rogue. We spoke about this. Rogue, he wanted to trade first, so he can now remax, and you can see he's remaxing in the production tab.
So herO, while he kind of took a decent trade for the most part in the beginning, he can't recoup this army in the way that Rogue can.
Yeah, and I think it was important that Rogue fought him on his side of the map, on herO's side of the map, so that he does have time
Sturgeon,
to
he's
remake
catching on.
the units with his larger economy. The Lings will find the Zealots, and with upgrades, Lings can deal with Zealots just fine. This Archon, a little bit out of position, will go down. And this is it, the last stand for this Protoss army. He gets caught in the middle of the
locks
map.
down the Immortals.
All the Lings and the Banes go
The
in.
Banelings.
Doesn't detonate the Banelings on the Immortals, of course. Just runs them around looking for Zealots.
Yeah, very
the
nice
temp is
control.
full. Down go the Archons. And with it, herO's chance in this game. Rogue takes it 3-0 over herO. What an insane set.
That's incredible from Rogue. I mean, coming out swinging that hard in very unique looking games.
GG, well played, congratulations Rogue. He will claim the series 3-0. He will knock herO out of the tournament. herO, he is out of RSL. Rogue popping off. Once again, as you mentioned, this was a very unique series. It was a very, very unique series here. Again, herO honestly had a really strong start in game 1. Like, game 1 was herO's game to lose, and herO did fumble the ball. Did fumble when it came to the defense. herO did mess up. He didn't take it seriously enough, and herO was punished for ignoring and for leaving himself vulnerable to said Ling Bane or Ling aggression and Ling run-bys and Ling counterattacks. Game 2 was a little bit different. Game 2 was also on herO, to be honest. Remember what happened. Rogue, he slowly knocked down the rocks on Celestial Enclave, slowly opened up the natural, and then went for the all-in. herO saw it. his units, I should say, his units saw the rocks being attacked, but herO didn't notice. So herO, he was just not attentive enough. He didn't notice what his units were telling him, and he was left with his pants down against the all-in. He was woefully underprepared against the all-in in game 2. Here in game 3, herO went for the same build he went for in game 1, went for a heavy stalker aggression. He was active on the map. He saw the macro hatchery. It was a very Ling heavy style out of Rogue, and upon recognizing how Ling heavy it was, herO had to back off. He had to back off and be defensive. But herO's herO, and what happened, herO was still being hyper aggressive and very active with his stalkers, and he got punished. He got punished time and time again. He lost 4 stalkers, and then 7 stalkers, and then like another 10 stalkers as well. herO lost 24 stalkers trying to be active in the early to mid game, and that's when herO kind of lost the game then and there. That's when, if you remember, after he lost all those stalkers, that's when herO made the decision to rush into Skytoss. As we were trying to emphasize, like, I disagree with the analysis of Gemini and Sturgeon, where they're like, oh, herO made a mistake, he didn't know what was happening, and he tried to rush into Skytoss against Lingbane Hydra, whereas I believe that herO, I mean, he knew what was happening, he knew it was Lingbane Hydra, but because he was behind, because he was so far behind, he went for a Hail Mary move to rush into Tempest, to rush into Skytoss, to try to recover and try to make up for his earlier losses, because playing standard from there would not be good enough. Like, playing standard after falling that far behind, you're just playing from behind. So you have to take a chance, whether it's like rushing into Skytoss or going to like DT harass or War Prism harass or other kind of counterattacks, other ways to recover in that game. It doesn't have to be rushing into Skytoss, but there are other ways to do so. herO's response there was to try to rush into Skytoss, hope that maybe Rogue was going to be more passive and hope to defend and get away with that transition. But GG well played. Whew. So again, a very specific kind of series here, very specific games, game 1, game 2, and game 3. Again, I would say that game 3 here, some overconfidence out of herO, not respecting what he had scouted when it came to being active with those stalkers and losing all those stalkers as well. But GG well played. Congratulations here to Rogue, as Rogue does claim the series, and Rogue, he will advance on into the next round. I didn't mention previously, if you recall, I said at the beginning of this series how Rogue currently, it feels like he's relying a lot on builds and strategy, less so on micro and APM and individual like unit control, and I feel like I'm almost validated here because that's what this series felt like. Like, it was, again, Rogue making the correct decisions in the moment and going for the correct quote-unquote, or going for the quote-unquote correct builds or certain styles that was able to counter herO, and herO maybe not. herO was maybe a little bit too rigid, and he wasn't really respecting and adapting to what Rogue was doing. For example, respecting the Ling counterattacks and Ling run-bys in game 1, reacting and scouting and confirming the all-in in game 2, and also in game 3, reacting to the mass Ling aggression and the macro hatcheries that Rogue was going for, and being more defensive as a reaction to that. He didn't do any of those things, right? He was still being active, still being aggressive, and was punished for that in that 3rd game. But GG well played. With that, Rogue will claim the series, and with that, we are now wrapping up for the broadcast. We're wrapping up here today. When it comes to the rest of our schedule, when it comes to the rest of when it comes to the rest of our schedule here tonight, we do have another broadcast in a couple of hours. In a couple of hours time, we're going to be live with the Platinum StarCraft League. We're going to be live with the Platinum StarCraft League. That's going to be at 2 a.m. my time in 3 hours. 3 hours time, we're going to be live with some more StarCraft. That is a relatively open cup. It is limited. It is restricted to players that haven't achieved too high results in big premier events. I say that, I think specifically it's Illegalac. I think the Illegalac top 16 are excluded from the Platinum StarCraft League. So players like herO, Bjorn, Classic, Cyril, Raynor, Clem, Showtime, MaxPax, the best players in the world are excluded from competing. This next tournament is going to be for the mid-tier players, the up-and-coming players instead, to give them a chance and opportunity to compete amongst each other. That is going to be again in 3 hours time. So I do have 3 hours to get some food, get some snacks, rest up, and get ready for the next cast. Oh boy. So again, that's going to be in 3 hours time. It's less than 3,000 Illegalac points. Yeah, that's like around top 16. That's like around top 16, or I should say below top 16 for Illegalac. So again, that is going to be later on tonight. Otherwise, we're going to be back tomorrow with some more RSL, with the RSL Playoffs Day 4. Tomorrow, I believe, should be the upper brackets. So very quickly, double checking here. Tomorrow's broadcast is going to be, let's see, it's going to be the mirror matchups. Mara versus Björn and Max Pax versus Trigger. Ooh, I can see that being really fast and really short games, to be honest. Oh boy. So get a bit of a shorter broadcast today, but it's all good. It's all good. 2-hour cast. Jeez. I mean, it gives us more time to prepare. So thanks for watching. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. We do appreciate it. And we will see you guys in 3 hours for our next cast for the Platinum StarCraft League for that monthly. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Sorry, just catching up in the chat. Just catching up. Catching up. See how much of a favorite herO is? My prediction was correct. Let's go Rogue. I mean, herO, he is favored. He is favored against Rogue. But that's also why, like, context matters. Like, the games that we casted, the games we saw were not standard. The game 1, game 2, game 3 in the series, they were not standard games. We had some very specific kind of situations and kind of positions that our players were in. And again, as I mentioned, it did feel like herO was maybe a little bit too rigid and maybe a little bit overconfident in his own play. You gotta respect the Rogue, Pap. You gotta respect them. Cool. 3 hours of bunny cuddling. True. Not wrong. With that, thanks for watching, though. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. Let's see who is live. Who can we send everyone over to? Let us quickly have a look. Fun fact, if you want to tune into my own personal content, I was actually live playing some ladder games just before the stream, only for like an hour and a half. I didn't really have much time, but we were live just before this, laddering a little bit. So if you're interested, you can follow me at light_VIP on Twitch. Otherwise, our VODs are available on YouTube, ! Socials in the chat. You can follow the CranKy Ducklings on YouTube, on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all things CranKy Ducklings. We do go live on a daily basis, and as you can see here, our schedule is pretty intense. It's pretty jam-packed. Plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft. But otherwise, we're going to be heading off for the time being. I don't see many people live at the moment. Hold on. Where are the people, Pat? Where are the people? We usually like to raid like somewhat smaller streamers. See, like Rex, I think he was casting, right? Rex was casting. MinoVK is live. Let's have a look. Deadly Kitten is live. He's a Swedish player in Japan. Might give some love to Deadly Kitten, I guess. Not many others, though. Not many other notables, I should say. Okay, we're going to be wrapping up. Give some love to Ome Deadly Kitten, and we'll see you guys next time. Until then, ciao, papi ciao. Until next time, hasta luego.